the semi-final live. Now, next up tonight is a stand-up comedian. The godfather of giggles, the lord of lulls, and TV's Mr. Chuckles are just three of the names he's asked me to stop calling him. It's Nick Page.
I'm Nick Page. I'm 47 years old and I'm from Gloucestershire.
On the road again.
Being a comic, you do spend an awful lot of time on the road because the gigs are literally all over the country. You very quickly build up an encyclopedic knowledge of service stations and petrol stations.
I remember once I got to the end of a week and I realised I hadn't eaten a single meal with cutlery.
Most gigs are worth the journey. I'm old enough that I've now got a favourite motorway services. A few others, maybe not. Before I was a comic, I was a bouncer, and then I was a car dealer, and then I was an estate agent. So I'd only have to be a politician to do the full house of jobs that people hate. My audition for Britain's Got Talent was an amazing day. The nearest I've got to a hobby is this. I quite like highlighter pens. That moment where you get that first big laugh from an audience, there is no feeling like it on earth. I am really excited about the semi-finals. I'm nervous, but I'm hoping that the 16 years of hard work is going to pay off tonight. Hello! Wow! Before we start, just a little warning, I do talk quite quickly. So if at any point you reckon I'm talking too quick, all you've got to do, think a little bit faster. And I am properly humbled to be here. There's amazing acts from all over the world. I can't compete with that. It's just me. I know. And some people don't even think I should be on this stage, it turns out. I know, I came on after the yodeling hamster juggler and it was me who got the heckle. I think it's because I don't look showbiz. I look like a bloke who's come to have a chat with your dad about joists. I've always looked a little bit old, and I've started doing old man stuff. I recently bought a pair of jeans at a supermarket. And within an hour, I was strutting around in them going, look at these, they only cost £4.80, guess where I got them? Within an hour and a half, I was calling them... Within an hour and a half, I was calling them my going-out jeans. Trust me, if you're out at the weekend and your jeans cost less than your first drink, shouldn't be out. I'm old enough that I should be able to give people advice, but I got no advice to give apart from this. Always buy engagement rings a little bit bigger than you reckon you need them. That way, when you apply it, you can go, oh, you've lost weight, which always gets you brownie points. But more importantly, it means you can get it back without waking them up. Trust me, nobody wants to be woken up by having their ring finger lubed. I'm proper hairy too. I'm like one of those blokes who's got a full pelt. Like I'm hairy enough that I'm allowed to swim at my local leisure centre for free because I provide filtration. I do a length underwater, I get out, they give me a comb and a dustpan, I give them back plasters, locker keys, chewing gum, change. And then I went to get waxed. I was booked in for the back sack and crack wax, you know the one, Simon. But it hurt. By the time they'd done one shoulder, I was crying and I tried to escape. And it turns out beauticians are stronger and cleverer than they look. They went around in a pincer movement. They pulled me down. They tried to get my trousers down to finish the job. I held onto my belt buckle so tightly, I had the imprint of an eagle on my hand for a month. And people thought I was one of the baddies from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think my big strength here is that I am properly British. Give me a cheer if you're British. This is how I know I'm British. I'm British because my main motivation in everything I do is to slightly annoy my neighbours. Weirdly, I didn't get invited to the royal wedding. Even though I'm so British that I recently helped a mate to do his citizenship test. He'd been Greek for ages, but then he ran out of plates in his audition here. So I helped him do it. The thing is, the citizenship test isn't a test of being British, it's a history exam. And I reckon it should be a test of the things that British people know. Because there are things you know, yes? Yeah. Things you've always known and don't know how you know. But when I shout out these things, you'll know the answers. Are you ready? Yeah. Nice to see you, to see you. Nice. What do points win? Right. You're only supposed to blow. Very, very. Should we go for the final one? I need my trousers a bit higher. I didn't like it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Well done. Right, let's start with you, David.
Nick, you're a very funny guy. I'm always known as the nice one on this show. It's not hard. But I wish it had gone a little better for you tonight. I felt it was just getting there, but somehow just some of the material didn't quite take off. But you're a very funny guy. I'm sure you got... All right, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. But you're a very funny guy. I'm sure you're going to have a big future. Thank you.
You know, it started really well, but then I think you did lose your way. I just wasn't belly laughing like I wanted to, but I was willing you to do well because I think you are a great guy, and I remember you so well from your audition. I loved the way you heckled back at somebody that had given you a bit of a hard time, and you were thinking on your feet. I think you have potential, but I'm just not sure tonight has been your night, Nick. I'm sorry.
Nick, yeah, gosh, you know, you have so many clever lines. I loved the leisure centre stuff. I loved the lube, anything that says, you know, everyone knows me well. Anything like that. I just think you've got some really, really good lines. Oh, gosh, and I know you've been doing this for so long, but I just don't think you're there yet, if I'm honest. I think that this act needs honing, and I think there needs to be some better material. And I'm sorry.
Look, Nick, part of me gave you the buzzer because I thought it was the equivalent of sort of heckling you because you're better. And I thought at least it will kind of rev you up, and because I didn't get the jokes. I was sort of like halfway behind you the whole time. I like you. You're a nice guy. You know, this is the hardest thing. I always say, being a stand-up on this stage is a nightmare thing to do. Yeah. Maybe it was just one of those nights, or maybe we're completely wrong. This is the public who decide, not us. But it was, you know, I'm sorry.
Exactly. It is up to the folks at home. And if you want to see Nick in the final on Sunday, then vote for him. Follow the instructions on screen now, or vote via the app. But remember, the vote doesn't open until the end of the show. One more time, let's hear it from, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Page!